Hello and welcome to another dev diary for Imperator Rome. This time we're going to be looking at the religious changes coming in the Archimedes update. So how about we just get right into it. The most notable effect of religion in the released game as it stands is that it relates to which omens are available to you. A wide range of different omens with different effects exist, spread out throughout the world, often relating to local deities or cults. In practice, however, you have no easy control over which omens are available to you, and no way to influence your country's policy against foreign religions. In the Archimedes update, this is changing, as are other aspects of how you deal with religions in the game. While most states took a more inclusive religious approach than in later eras, religion was still an important part of the ancient world. Often, divines from multiple corners of an empire would all be honoured by the central powers that be, increasing their legitimacy with their various subjects. Likewise, empires where the ruling groups found themselves to be in the minority would often patronise local gods as well as their own. Another thing that is quite striking in the world of the Hellenistic era is the sheer number of deities worshipped. Even within the same vague religious sphere, there are a great amount of different local deities which, while they may resemble that of other places, have their own peculiarities, why did I flub that word, and modes of worship. Some would in time be patronised by kingdoms and leading men, while others would continue to be the object of local cults in remote parts of the Mediterranean. I think this one especially, while they resemble that of other places, have their own peculiarities and modes of worship. The biggest example I can think of that is the difference between Mars and Ares. Pretty much the same kind of idea, the god of war, both very, Rome is Hellenic in the game. There's definitely a relationship there, but they are worshipped in different ways, and they are technically different deities, so they resemble each other. That's pretty much it. So unfortunately, they've got no picture for us today, so this is the picture of the current game. So you can see we've got Blessing of Ares, Blessing of Zeus, all that kind of stuff. This is all going away, I guess. So let's see what we're going to be getting. In the Archimedes update, the old omen system will be removed to give place for a system of patron deities. In a polytheistic religion, the player will have the power over which deities are considered patron deities in a state pantheon, gaining access to different passive bonuses as well as limited omens. So, before we go on, something very important to point out in this, in a polytheistic religion, not all of the religions of the game are polytheistic. The one that springs to mind immediately is Judea. They are not polytheistic, they are monotheistic. I believe also Zoroastrian, apparently. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I did see someone in the comments mention it. I'm sure there are other monotheistic religions in the game, probably. I actually don't know much about, Chaldean and Aramazay. I don't know barely anything about them, so I can't really say. But yeah, Judaism, that's a monotheistic religion, and he's specifically pointing out polytheistic. So at some point we'll hopefully learn a bit about what Judea is going to be getting. Religiously divided states will also be able to patronize deities from more than one religion, both placating the masses under their control and increasing their choice in deities. This is super important. That's really fantastic, honestly. I can think this is going to really help out the likes of Phrygia, the likes of the Seleucid Empire. Imagine the Seleucid Empire patronizing some of the Zoroastrian deities, or the Zoroastrian omen people. Just go with it. To keep the Zoroastrians in their empire sort of pacified, like that could be huge. That could be really huge. That's a massive shift to the way the game plays. I love it. It's fantastic. And I lost where I was. Fantastic. There we go. Instead of having 8 omens available to you at all times, every country in the game will now have a state pantheon consisting of 4 deities, each corresponding to one of 4 different categories: fertility, war, culture, or economy. While deities do belong to a religion, it is not required that you follow that religion in order to pick a deity. Base happiness modifiers related to having or not having the state religion will go away in the Archimedes update. Also a huge, huge change. Instead, all pops following any given religion will get a bonus to happiness based on how many of the deities in your state pantheon matches the faith that they believe in. This means that for a great empire syncretism, go with it. And selecting deities from many different religions could be a way to promote stability and loyalty among your characters. So, along with the aforementioned Phrygia and Seleucid Empire, I can see the Roman Empire gaining quite a lot from this. As they go into Gaul, for example, they could patronize some of the Druidic gods, or the Druidic Omen people. I'm just going to call them Omen people, it's easier. When they go into Carthage, they could patronize some of the Carthaginian Omen people. Carthage could patronize some of the megalithic Omen people, and it just really increased the amount of stability in the game. And you wouldn't see almost every game Phrygia go into several hundred little pieces. I like that. It's a good change. Phrygia didn't die from internal explosion. They were conquered. And nor did the Seleucids. But in the game, that seems to be the way they die most frequently. Anyway. Where did I lost myself again? Lovely. This means for great empire syncretism, there we go. On the other hand, if all of your deities come from the same religion, then pops of that particular religion will get a comparatively large happiness bonus under your rule. Likewise, loyalty and foreign relations are also affected by the religions of your chosen deities rather than your state religion as such. I like that a lot. Because if you've got two Hellenics and they've both chosen, different deities, well, I like Ares. So Ares is my god, and then Athens would be like, well, I really like Athena. That's my god of choice, so I'm gonna hate you. Instead of, oh, we're both Hellenic, we're best friends. I like that. It's a good change. Which deities are available to you will be based on your religion and the religion of your pops, but also on things like geography. If you control the holy site of a particular local deity, then that deity may become available to you as one of those you can patronize in your pantheon. The plan is that we'll make a wide range of such deities available to you, offering ample choice both among the various faiths and depending on where you're playing in the world. So, some of the holy sites I can think of, obviously Judea's got the most easily recognizable example with Jerusalem. We've got the Chemetics would probably, I think it's somewhere down the Nile. Possibly, I'm not really sure where that would be. Maybe like Cairo or something. But I know for Macedon, Tricca is the big holy site that you get in your mission tree. There's also the Oracle of Delphi. Rome would probably be one because of the Temple of Jupiter Optimus Maximus. So there's a lot of options for holy sites. Athena's probably going to have hers in Athens. Sparta might be the one for Ares, etc., etc. The Temple of Zeus in Olympia. There's a lot of options here. So my question really is, how are we going to find these holy sites? Because I really don't want to have to guess them. And I would love a way to just see on the map or just have a list of them. Seeing on the map would obviously be the best option, but even if it was like in your decisions and you could hover over one of the decisions and it would just highlight all of the holy sites and tell you where they were, like that would be really nice. That would be very nice. But I'm not sure. I just hope there's going to be something. Playing a small Phoenician state in Syria will have you picking between different deities than if you're on the Greek mainland or among the Gallic states of northern Italy. The deities themselves will not all be the same, however. Like before, they'll offer bonuses that are specific to the god itself. Every deity will have both a bonus that you will always receive the benefits from, as long as they're in your pantheon, and a time-limited one that you pay to activate. So there's two main parts to this. Every god is going to have a bonus that is just passive. You will always have that bonus on. So these are quite a lot more powerful than what I'm expecting. But say these four were your pantheon: Ares, Zeus, Apollo, and Hermes. these bonuses here would be always applied for just from being in your Pantheon. But then you would be able to choose, or you would pay for one to honor more specifically, and whether that would be different from the 4 things we've got here, like maybe you get a bigger boost to morale of armies if you chose Ares, or maybe it'd be completely different, maybe it would be discipline or something like that. I don't know. There's also the idea that you have to pay for it. Now, before we had the Cicero update, paying for omens was done with the zeal points. I can't remember, religious points, whatever. Mana is shit anyway, so who cares? But yeah, you paid the mana points for it. Now that's all gone away. So there's 2 ways I can really see them doing this. Either it's going to be political influence, which would make sense, or it's going to be a cash purchase, which I can also see making sense. Because if you think about it, your state is choosing to honor a particular god for a while. How long this particular bonus applies for, I don't know yet, and it's probably going to be changed with things like inventions and such. But your state is basically paying for maybe rituals to be held, parades, that kind of thing, and that shit costs money. It also would make sense for it to be costing a bit of political influence. So I could see it being a mix of both. As long as the cash cost, if it is a cash cost, isn't related to your yearly income. Because if it's related to your yearly income, I can see myself just using the passive effects. Because yearly income style costs in Imperator, like for instance inventions, get very, very large. And if the bonus doesn't scale with that as well, which I can't see it doing, it's just not going to be worth it. It needs to be just a fixed cost, or if it is scaling, then it needs to not just be a straight line kind of scale. There's got to be something else in there. But anyway, moving on. Taken together with their impact on pop happiness, this should make the composition of your patronized Pantheon a strategic choice in the long as well as short term. Replacing a deity in your Pantheon for another of the same category, warfare with warfare, fertility, economic, culture, etc., can be done as long as more than 3 years has passed since you picked your current deity. This comes at a price to a hit of stability of your country. You'll also not be able to make use of the Omen, time-limited bonus, for a deity during these 3 years. This deity rework is one that we hope will change the religious focus from always being one of conversion to allowing you to instead focus on syncretism. On the other hand, a state with a very uniform group of pops under its control is likely better served by focusing on the gods of that religion. Since each foreign deity does eat into the possible happiness boost you can get from your state religion, there's no longer any inherent benefit to happiness from that compared to other religions. Our intention is that this should bring the game closer to how you think about religion and worship to the real-life states of the era that will open up new ways to play. The deity rework is also what enables many of the other things related to deity worship? This is now worship, whatever, go with it. That we plan for this update, which we'll expand upon in future diaries. That was all for today. Sadly, don't have any screenshots, blah, blah, blah. Lovely. So, there's a couple of extra things here. Someone asking about Judaism. Judaism will be elaborated on in a further diary. It's not the main focus of this update, but is not forgotten. And then, besides Judaism, I wonder how Ptolemaic cult of Alexander would work in Imperator. And then the Alexander cult is a very interesting thing indeed. Lovely. There's also a beautiful comment written by Agamade if I show all posts. And I say beautiful because, I mean, it's just a really good suggestion. Please tell me that the Imperial cult will have the ruler as their deity. That would be so cool. And 100% I'm on board with that. If you have an Imperial cult, of course. Naturally. If your ruler is deified, as so many were in so many different religions, then yeah, having these very customizable deities, that would be really cool. Imagine if all of your Pantheon, all 4 of your chosen gods, were characters that you used to play as. How fucking cool would that be? I'm totally on board with that. I love it. I love it. So good. So good. So, what I would like to know is your opinion right now. So please do leave your comments in the comments section below, because I want to know what you think. Do you like this change to the religious mechanics in Imperator? Do you agree with me that they're good? Do you disagree with me? Do you think it's a bad change? Do you have any ideas for different omens, different omen people, omen gods, omen deities? Do leave them in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.